Okay, so we've got the base colors all done on here, so just walk around the model. What I'm going to be doing now is doing some of the shading, so that'll be done with various washes. I'll try to do a dark wash on the armor, and then some browns and whatnot on the scrolls, and black on the silver bits, and then we'll move on from there. And here's a look at the banner as it stands now, sort of the base colors. So I've got the Kemery brown on these areas here, and some grays on areas in there. This is oiled leather from Reaper for the non-metallic gold. Kemery brown on all of the rope sort of things, and some gold up at the top. This is going to be a non-metallic gold as well, eagle, and then some scab red, all on the red bits. Okay, so here I go with the Devil in Mud. So I'm just going to paint that all around these areas here. Not too worried about staying inside the lines, just want to make sure I get a nice even coat. And I'll touch all that up later. Okay, so now I'm going to put Devil in Mud on the areas on this guy. So just working on the scrolls and the gold. And by scrolls I mean like purity seals and whatever. Okay, now I'm going to go with some Bad Black on all these silver bits. Okay, so here's what we look like after all of the washes are done. So you see it's been darkened down a little bit, and we're ready to start up the highlights. So just simple washes on everything, and here's the banner here. And you can see just Devil Mud on all the brown bits, Bad Black on the gray, and Devil Mud on the gold as well. Okay, I'm going to be doing some of the blue highlights now. I'm using a mix of Reaper Ultramarine Shadow as well as Ultramarine, so it's a 50-50 mix. The Ultramarine Shadow is very similar to Necron Abyss. So I'm just going to be painting this sort of on the edges away from the deepest shadows, so kind of a wide highlight, and any large surfaces as well. And what I'll do is I'll use the Ultramarine blue to do the edge highlighting and everything. So this will just help me get more of a gradual highlight for painting those all over the edges. Or sorry, like flat surfaces and edges, I guess. I'll come back when I'm done that and show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm all done that first highlight. That was a mix of Ultramarine Shadow and Ultramarine Blue from Reaper. So now I'm just going to go around and do some edge highlighting with pure Ultramarine Blue from Reaper. So this is not quite the same as Ultramarine Blue for 40K or for GW, but very similar. So I'm just trying to keep this dark blue color and just trying to get some edge highlights going on. Okay, so I'll come back and show you what that looks like when I'm all done. Okay, so this is all the Ultramarine Blue highlight. It's Reaper Ultramarine Blue, and so I've done the edges. Now what I want to do is blend this down a little bit. Some of the areas got a little bit too much, too wide there, so I'm going to use some Sherm Blue Wash and I'm going to go over all the blue. Here's the banner as well. So I just did a little bit of edge highlights with that blue there just to give you a bit of variation. Okay, so now I'm just continuing on with this blue wash, and I'm just painting it on all of the blue areas, and what it's doing is it's sort of toning down that highlight and blending those blues back together. So in the end it'll end up with that nice dark blue, and those highlights won't be quite as obvious, which is kind of what I want. Covers up a little bit of the extreme highlight. The main thing is that it blends those edge highlights in. And I'll just come back when I'm done. Okay, so I've done a little bit more work since the last section of video I shot. So what can you see here? So I finished up the blue wash. I'm not sure where I was in that. The red up here, I did a highlight with blood red and I gave it a bal red wash. And I've been working on the scrolls a little bit, so that's highlighting things up with a mixture of Deneb stone and Kemery brown. And then highlighted with a bit of white, pure white. And see the orc face, I did a little bit of highlighting with goblin green, and then a wash with Thraka green. And so I think I'm ready to finish off the details in the black here, the plasma gun, the shoulder pad, and some of the gold. As well, I need to finish off this guy. So I've got all the scroll work basically done, and I need to do the non-metallic gold in there, and sort of the non-metallic silver on the chains, and then some of the smaller details of the ropes and that sort of thing. Other than that, basically coming together quite nicely, and yeah, I'll come on to the next stage now. Okay, I'm going to be working on this plasma gun a little bit here, so I've base coated it, and let's see if I can. I'm just going to try to get the raised areas with this lighter blue, so I'm using Reaper True Blue, base coated with Sapphire Blue, and just trying to get that. I'm going to give this a wash once it's done. So just getting a little bit of paint on the brush and kind of doing an overbrush there. Not too worried about getting it perfect because I'm going to wash it and that'll help get the cracks. Now I'll grab another lighter blue, and then I'll do a light white, or a white sort of an edge on it as well. So I'm using Reaper Sky Blue. Shake that up good. And I'm just going to use a little bit of the sky blue here. And then the white will go along just the top edge there, just to bring out colors a little bit. Kind of like a blown out highlight. And I kind of want to over highlight this a bit actually, because I'm going to be doing that blue wash. Okay, and a little bit of white along that top edge. Because I have such a little amount of paint on the brush, I'm not really washing it between. Doesn't matter if the white is a bit blue. Sorry. The other side. There we go. And I'll give that a quick Sherm blue wash. Make sure to shake that first. And this time I did wash the brush. I don't want any white mixing in with this. So. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's all done. So stay away from that part while that dries. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the black bits. I'm just going to use a medium gray to highlight them, and then I'm going to bring them back down again with a black wash. So it's going to over highlight and then blend it back down. So this will include his feet. I'm doing right now. Oops. And all sort of the joints in the power armor, as well as the plasma gun and these things on his chest. Just do those, and then I'll skip ahead to the next step. So I'm just making sure that I don't have too much paint on the brush, and just doing kind of a light overbrush. And I use my thumb to kind of gauge how much paint I have in my brush. Just using light strokes there.